Well, YouTube, it looks like we finally meet. That's right, I'm making my first video because I feel like I have, I don't know, some perspectives I'd like to share. I really feel like I need to share to some people. Um, well, my name is Jacob. I live in South Dakota. I go to school in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm 20 years old. I'm registered and independent. So, just to give you a feel from where I come from, back in 2008, I was a big old Barack Obama supporter, and like many kids my age, college kids, America in general, we thought Obama was it. We thought he was knight in shining armor, riding in on his white horse, and he was going to fix everything. And we thought that when you look back on everything, that he was going to be generational, defining moment, and we'd be a part of that, much like the 60s in Woodstock, or the 1940s and how America came together after World War II. And we wanted to be attached to history, and we thought Barack Obama was it. And he's proven himself not to be. Give you an example, just the last 2 days, Obama signed into law this detention act, which would give him the right to detain anybody he wants to, American citizens, people overseas, detain them, arrest them, hold them as long as they want, all in the name of war, security, terrorism. What that means is our government has the right and power to basically intervene and arrest people just because they don't like them, because they're suspicious. And that's scary. It's scary to me. It's scary to think about my liberties being taken away like that. And it's starting to sound a lot like North Korea or Iran. And boy, us in America, we are so quick to say how we have all our freedoms, and those countries over there, they don't have their freedoms. And why aren't you proud to live in America where we're free? And I hear this and I go, you know what? We're not, or at least we're taking steps away from that, and we need to wake up. So now we come to the GOP elections, which are going to be kicking off tomorrow in Iowa, and Ron Paul. And I find Ron Paul fascinating. And the reason why I find Ron Paul fascinating is by some simple comparisons. We got Obama, 2008, branded as this grassroots campaign. And you know what? Had a lot of grassroots qualities to it, a lot of ground movement, a lot of great organization. But ultimately, he was taking in lots and lots of cash from these big wigs, and the media, CNN and MSNBC, they loved him. He was their pick. He was their boy. And they made him available to you at all times. You ever wanted to hear what Barack Obama his stance was on? There was no confusion. Just turn on TV. They've got him on 24/7. He was always available. That doesn't sound very grassroots to me. It feels like he's being fed to you at all times. With Ron Paul, regards to CNN and Fox News and other news sources, they feel threatened by him because he does not stand for the status quo of one party or the other. He's going to a beat of his own drum. And you know what? If you look at all the policies, they're all consistent, and they all go into that same drum beat. And he is very, very dedicated to that. And some of those issues don't all align in one party or the other. So for whatever reason, both parties, they feel threatened by this guy. And they are realizing that he is building a base. And they don't want to make it very clear to you how big this base is. But go on the internet. Look on news sources. Look on blogs. Go to Facebook. Look at his fan page. It's buzzing. It's expanding. It's growing. He's raising a lot of money. He's got a large fan base. And they're trying to tell you that he is unelectable. People look to CNN and Fox News, whatever you support, whatever news. They look to it like it's their guardian, like it's their counsel, and they trust their news sources. And when they start talking to politics, pay attention. They say Ron Paul is unelectable. And what does that mean? Unelectable. I'm telling you that this man won't get elected. Means he's not going to get the votes, nobody supports him, he doesn't got the money, whatever, all side, doesn't have the votes, he's unelectable. What do you do with unelectable people? You don't support them. Why would you support somebody who's unelectable? Once you reach that conclusion, they're telling you, Ron Paul unelectable, Ron Paul, don't vote for him. Don't vote for Ron Paul. They don't want you to vote for Ron Paul. They're going to tell you things that are going to try and convince you otherwise. They're going to make you think that this guy is not legitimate and that he's a fringe candidate and he's talking about these crazy, loony things. But in reality, America is completely disgusted with how our politics are being run and who's running our country. We're not satisfied with Congress. The approval ratings are 5% for Congress. 5%, maybe 9%. I'm sorry. Congress approval ratings are lower than polygamy. The ratings for Congress is lower than how people feel about Paris Hilton, pornography. People like those things more than they like Congress. So it should be clear that whether you're Republican or Democrat, one party is not clean and the other one's dirty. They're both responsible for all the crap we're in right now. And so if you look at Ron Paul's message, they're calling him fringe. Why are they calling him fringe? Is because he's talking about issues that neither the Republicans or the Democrats are willing to acknowledge. He's bringing up issues that have been quiet and dormant in American politics for so long. And people are going, these are crazy ideas. Well, in reality, these are issues that have been put under the table for so long, and he's finally bringing them back. So he's got to be crazy, right? Well, no, I don't believe he's crazy. I believe this guy is consistent, and he's got a strong belief system. And they ask people, why do you support Mitt Romney? Because he's a strong guy, and he's a businessman, and he's a hard worker, and they can't pin it down onto policies because ultimately their policies all pretty much sound the same. And we've been running a country on the same policies for so long, and look where we're going. Now we got a guy who's talking about the crap that we weren't willing to talk about, except for maybe in the privacy of our own homes. And he's saying I'm going to fix those things. And if you look at my record, I've never, ever, ever once backed down on those votes. Ever. Even when it was a 1 to 99 vote. Ron Paul voted no, and 600 plus pieces of legislation was the only no vote, or one of 10 no votes. He doesn't compromise. He sticks with his beliefs. I'll leave it up to you to find out what his beliefs are, make your own opinion about him. What I gotta tell you is that Ron Paul is a legitimate force, and I believe very strongly in him. He makes me feel good about myself. He makes me think, I can live in a country where I'm not always being told what I can or can't do. So I challenge you guys, do some research on your own. And there's a lot of good information behind him. I think he's something here. I mean, this is grassroots stuff. Iowa's tomorrow. It's just the beginning of a long fight. You guys have a good night. Hopefully the video was okay. Talk to you guys later. And I invite conversation, all right?